Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. We're gonna talk about this whole Brooklyn nonsense. Okay, this is what we're gonna talk about first, because Brooklyn, it seems like almost every other day, Brooklyn finds new ways to just sit there and annoy me. Right? I'm gonna be honest. This scene with Lois feeling down, blaming herself, kicking herself, and everything like that. This shit's gotta stop. Okay. I guess her name is Flora or something like that. It's not they're trying to give her a pep talk. Listen, I mean, I agreed with everything that what Lois did, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I am getting so sick and tired of Brooklyn constantly getting upset with her mother. Because at the end of the day, boo, nobody told you to sit there and have sex. Okay, essentially what Lois did, and I'm not trying to talk about it in this tone, but she's got me to this point because it's like you essentially got yourself knocked up, right? And you was like, hey, listen, Mom Dukes, I can't sit there and handle this. I'm a kid myself. I can't sit there raising another child. I need your help. She helped you. She may not have helped you in the way that you wanted it to, but she did the best that she could. And let's be honest, she didn't have all the answers herself either. Okay? Up until a point where she had to sit there and ask her own goddamn mother on guidance about how to go about this thing. So for her to sit there and keep getting upset about this, and you hear her, you're like, oh well, when when Brooklyn snipped there talking to Tracy. I mean, when Brooklyn snipped there talking to Tracy, she's like, I fired her. And at first she was like, listen, um, she kind of ambushed me, and I didn't like it. But at the same time, I can't sit there and be too upset with her because, well, she got tricked herself, and she acknowledged that she got tricked. And then there was a point where she went there talking, and she was like, listen, me and her, I kind of missed her and everything like that, and we seemed like we had a good talk. But then when the cameras was start rolling, all that anger and fury came back, and then she fired her, and she was like, oh, I thought I would feel better. I thought I would sit there and take back my power for what she did. You mean for what you did? Because she only did that in response to what you did. And I know some people can sit there and be like, well, she was young and da 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 da. I don't care. You started this whole chain of events, And if people want to sit there and say that, well, Brooklyn was young, so is Lois. Lois did not have all the answers. Hell, we rarely have all the answers when we get up to Gloria's age, let alone Lois's age. So it's one of those things. She was like, "Oh, I thought I would feel better." You wait. So let me get this straight. You got upset and you fired your mother because you thought it would make you feel okay. Oh, and then Flower or Floor or whatever the hell her name is. It's just like listen, you're just gonna have to be there for your child when she's ready to sit there and reach out for you because she will need you. Just be there for her. So she's like, okay, listen, I'm gonna go to back to Bensonhurst, and when she needs me, she knows where I'm at. So Sitwell, Jordan, and Marty and Drew. Sitwell tells them that he is backing out from this measure sheet thing because, long story short, Sonny got my kid, and I can't sit there and do anything. I can't, what I'm saying? Like, I gotta sit there and take a step back until I'm able to sit there and get Marcos. He was like, when he does, he is raining hellfire on Sonny and anybody that gets caught up in his in the crossfire. I'm gonna be honest. I am so here for Sitwell to sit there and bring the pain to Sunny. I'm here for it. I am all in. Um, but with that being said, the push Sunny out, they need somebody else that's going to financially bankroll them. So Marty goes to Tracy when Brooklyn there. I was like, hey, listen, Sitwell backed out. I can't get into why. And so Tracy's like, okay, fine, or whatever, I'll do it. Brooklyn's not happy. Brooklyn is like, Sonny has done good for the community. And he has. Tracy's like, yeah, that's cool, but no, no. I want him out. And Brooklyn's like, how do you think that's going to make Gio feel? And Tracy's like, I'm doing this mostly for Gio, so this way he doesn't become another casualty just for being too close to Sonny. And we've seen the people that have been too close to Sonny and what's happened to them. So now it's really interesting. For a while, most of us, has always been under this idea of, listen, Sonny is a mobster, he blood money and everything like that, but the people that come in have been worse than Sonny, right? So it's like Sonny is a lesser of two evils. And that comes into question with Laura specifically. Sonny and Laura are talking, and Sonny is like, listen, I'm going to, I need you to sit there and denounce me. Otherwise, I'm going to sit there and have to back away from you. It was like, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give in to peer pressure, And then she says something along the lines of, like, I'm not doing that, I'm not going to compromise my integrity. I'm like, girlfriend, you are literally hanging out with poor Charles, local mobster, and you have the audacity to sit there and talk about that and integrity in the same breath. Are you sit? See, as I'm watching this, I'm just like, at what point did Laura just lose her goddamn mind? And I had to think about that because it's been a while. And then I was like, oh wait, Esme, Esme. I think that's what she lost her mind. I mean, I guess we can kind of take it back a little further, if I'm going to be honest. And I don't know if I actually want to bring this up. Y'all know what happened back then. Her, Luke. I don't think I need to say anything else. But even if you don't want to count that, even if they retcon it or whatever, which I still remember, so it still counts. Yeah, definitely Esme. Anyway, um, Sonny gets a call from Turner. See, Lucas is down there to the cops, Chase, and be like, "Hey, listen, Sonny kidnapped Marcos, and you need to do something." And at first, Chase is not really taking it too seriously, and to Turner's like, "No, no, no, we're gonna make this a priority one." Calls Sonny and is like, "Hey, listen, I need you to get your ass down here. I know you're hanging out with Laura, and I don't think it'd be good if I have to sit there and call the cops and they drag your ass out in handcuffs. I don't think that's going to look good for her. Not that this whole thing is looking good for her, but I don't think that's going to look good for her. So why don't you just come down to the station?" Sonny's like, "Okay, fine." Sonny comes down there. I was like, you're kind of missing a certain redhead, very curvaceous. Right? Thinks her name starts with a D. Oh, you're just gonna talk to her by yourself. And of course he did because he's like, you don't have anything on me, right? So he says thing, he jokes with her, he flirts with her. Oh, you just call me down here because you missed me. I was like, classic Sonny, classic Sonny. I like that. And it's true. They don't actually have anything on him. Lucas towards the end winds up getting a key with a dress, and when you look at the previews, looks like it might be the place where they're holding Marcos, or where they held Marcos. Who knows? Um, Marty goes to Drew, and Drew invites him to the wedding. Oh, I don't go to weddings because I break out in the hives and I screwed over 3 women or whatever. So I'm gonna bill you. Okay, whatever. He drops something and he sees a invitation that apparently Drew sent to Monica, which is all like tore up and everything like that. Looked like his has been writing on it. I'm assuming that Monica was just like looked at that shit and was just like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not even going there. I don't know why you wanted to send that for." He made up something when Marty asked about it. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember what he said, but it just a pack of lies. Now Willow invited Liz to the wedding, and she's all super happy, like this is a real wedding. And I know, granted, maybe down the line they would have got married, but you only doing this wedding to sit there and try to get back your kids, which is like dumb, and we knew it wasn't going to work. But Liz agrees to go. I mean, Drew only invited Marty because he needs bodies. I mean, that's literally, it's like, ain't nobody trying to go to that goddamn wedding. Um, Portia tells Isaiah that, she's not going to be working at the hospital anymore. She doesn't say why, but she's like, she's not going to be working here. And, Isaiah clearly sees like there's something that's going on, and she doesn't tell him what it is. But Isaiah's like, listen, if you're going to go down swinging. She's like, I plan on it. So at some point, Willow goes to Portia, or Portia summons her. I don't exactly remember how it is, but she gets in there and she invites, she gives her the paper, the invitation or whatever. And Portia takes that invitation and throws that shit right in the trash. She's like, is that necessary? It was like, listen, it would have been more funny if Portia would have balled that up and just threw it right at her head. That would have been that. Then you could have been like, was that necessary? Nope, but it was funny as hell. And she's like, listen, you don't know who Drew is. And she tells Willow that Drew is blackmailing her into falsifying records from Michael to make him seem like, he's a dopehead. He's hooked on opioids. And at first she has this look of like she's surprised or whatever. But I was like, girl, Drew told you it was going to want to happen. And you see it in the next segment that Willow's like, well, Michael's not there fighting fair, so why should I? I was like, and then it's just like, yep, mm-hmm. You turn them more in the now every single day. Um, yeah. Jordan goes to Laura and is like, um, I got some good news and got some bad news. And the good news is that Sitwell has pulled out of his essentially hate campaign towards Sonny. The bad news is the reason why he pulled out was because Sonny allegedly kidnapped Marcos. Now, Sonny was playing it cool and practically was like, this whole hate campaign and whatever everything is going to go away. And given the fire, and most likely Sonny Smith there blaming Sitwell, she's like, okay, yeah, like most likely he probably did it. Weren't you just not that long ago talking about, no, I'm not going to sit there and give you up. We're going to be friends to the end. I don't want to sit there and compromise my integrity. And that's when Jordan's like, maybe Sonny being the lesser of two evils is no longer the case. I think in this instance, it definitely is the case with Sitwell, but at the same time, like I said, I'm ready for Sitwell to bring it. Um, that's what happened in this episode. Nope. Actually, I think that's actually about it. Yeah, for the most part. I feel like there might have been a couple of things here or there that I might have missed, but that's the general gist of it. Now, of course, if I missed anything, come to the live stream tonight. I'm not exactly sure when I'm doing it. I was looking to say between 8 and 8:15, maybe 8:30. Depends on how fast I get these other two soap operas done and my days of a live review. Also, happy shout out to Shakira. Happy birthday, Shakira. I hope you had a great day. Um, anyway, I will be doing a live. Not exactly too sure what time when, but check the community tab. Check the community tab. And yeah, it could be 8, 10, or 15. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the next video.